What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are finally back for another. Okay, I'm good. We back again for another week of the Beyond the Gates. This time we have a full week, and we were so blessed. I don't know if they because you heard us complaining or whatever, and they gave us a little bit of a break. Girl, we ain't getting no Andre, we ain't getting no Ashley, and we ain't getting no Derek. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Okay. So this was Beyond the Gates, season 1, episodes 19 through 23. Girl, we ain't finna be on here too long because the fire alarm keep going off in my building. All right, and I don't know what the hell is going on. It ain't on fire. Somebody pulling it or it's malfunctioning. Who knows? But you know, there's that. Okay, but anyway, let's just get into it. Martin and Smitty. At this point, baby, listen. I need Smitty to go ahead and cheat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I have to go that far and everything because at this point, I need to know what the freak went on with Martin. Okay, what happened in his past? Because him sitting there dazing out, having flashbacks of what he did. Baby, did he kill somebody inadvertently and they had to cover it up? Like, what's going on? Because, talking to Grandpa Vernon and him telling Grandma Anita that listen, he decided that he want to run for president. And then, they was like, get his ass down here because we want to talk to him right now because they always convene at the country club. Okay. And basically was like, no, you can't do that, boo-boo. You cannot do that because the way that they dig so much into these people passes and, they try to use any and every type of ammunition against you or whatever, baby, they gonna dig so deep. And it's people that's on our side that know what you did. And it's people and it's at least one, which is Bill, who helped cover the stuff up, and he will be more than willing at this point because he has no stake in the game and no loyalty to the Duprees at this point to just put all of that on Front Street. That was the whole reason why he was able to get Danny and the whole family to come to that wedding. Because he said, baby, if you don't want it to get out there what Martin did, you gonna have them come to the wedding and act like they give a damn, which was so stupid if you ask me. Like, Bill, you set your host, you set you and Haley up for that. Okay, you really wanted them to come to the wedding in order to keep Martin's secret, and I would have just said F that because why would you allow that to happen? You wanted your wife now to be miserable. You wanted something to happen. You really thought that they was gonna come there and behave themselves just because their name is Dupree. At least you thought Danny was gonna come there and behave himself. Like, girl, stop it, sir. No, okay. But at this point in time, I need to know because the way that he is, trying to stop Smitty from, being back into his journalistic bag and everything, being an investigative journalist and all that stuff, stopping him from getting on assignments and then being found out because when they go on a little dinner date or whatever, the guy that came up and approached him at, Nicole's little awards dinner thing, and he told him about it was an assignment that Smitty could be on, and he said and Martin was like, no, he don't really want to do it, so he was just playing, he was just thinking about it or whatever, but he ain't interested. And then Smitty found out, mind you, Smitty already pissed because he overheard when Martin was over there talking to the grandparents about them him wanting to run for president. And it's like, so you want to get out here and have your big ambitions and have your job or whatever, but yeah, you still want me to stay at home and the kids about to graduate. The kids don't need to be nurtured that much. I mean, they do, but at the same time, they are young adults at this point. They're about to be young adults. So therefore, they need some little ounces of freedom, to do how to get through the world without their parents constantly on their backs, right? And the excuses that, Martin is giving is just not working for me. Okay, why are you holding this man back? Why are you holding him back so much? And then the kids going through stuff. Listen, little Tyrell, How they was able to get your phone and get into it enough to take a picture of you in your drawers and to send it to some girl? First of all, that could be considered sexual harassment. So you need to go ahead and get that taken care of, okay? Because you send in unsolicited pics. So you say you didn't send it, but somebody else did, which caused you to get your ass whipped by her boyfriend, right? Yeah, you need to go ahead and fix that, okay? Because we don't need no lawsuits. We don't need no charges or nothing or whatever. Yeah, you could say kids will be kids, but it is their age, baby. This ain't no kids to be kids type of situation. That's just sexual harassment, okay? I'm needing to cover fix that. But at the same time, Martin, I don't know, sir. It's giving me you got some other stuff underneath your bed, and I just really want it to come out. And at this point in time, I just want Smitty to cheat on you because obviously you ain't fucking him. And I'm sorry that I had to say it this way because I feel like sex is a part of the situation as well. You can't be doing all of this and not be putting it down at the same time, okay? Because what? You at least got to be compensating this man with some sex or something. And I just feel like y'all not doing it. Y'all not putting each other through the mattress, okay? And that's why you so freaking tightly wound, all right? Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand what his problem is. And it's getting on my nerves. It's getting on my nerves, Martin, okay? Moving on from that, Danny and Chelsea, okay? Chelsea finally told her she finally told her mama, she finally told her mama that, listen, girl, I don't want to be the model, okay? Not no more. That was your job. That was your dream. I want to be in fashion, but not in that capacity. I want to be the one behind the scene making the fashion. I want to have my own brand. I don't want to be the one modeling it. I don't want to model other people's stuff. I want to make my stuff and have other people model it for me, okay? That's what I want. I want to be a boss, for real, for real. And, we already knew that the reason why Chelsea, because Kat kept on getting on her like, girl, at one point in time, you're going to have to just bite the bullet and go ahead and tell your mama, rip that Band-Aid off that, girl, we got stuff going on right now. We got deals coming in, partnerships coming in, all of this stuff. And I can't keep holding back because you scared to tell your mama because you scared that your mama going to lose her shit. All right. And I get where she coming from because, again, Danny has been going through some stuff. Now, when she finally went on ahead and told her what was up, she was already talking to these two event planners or whatever. They typical, just messy as hell. Girl, you in that gun show, we like what you did and everything, and woo woo. Just bigging her head up or whatever. Danny, I was on your side anyway, so that's fine with me. I ain't had no problem with them saying that because I probably would have said the same thing. I was like, bitch, now next time you shoot that motherfucker in the pinky toe, okay? That's what you do. You hit him in the pinky toe, all right? But anyway, yes. So she had already took it upon herself to make a 3-year binding contract that she wanted Chelsea to sign. And this whole storyline between Chelsea and Danny is I know some people probably, I don't know how people feel about it, but I just know it's one that we see a lot where we see parents living through their children. We see parents living through their children because they either didn't get an opportunity to do the things that the children are doing these days because of the situation and the way that they were brought up, and probably was brought up with less. And it's like, no, I'm not going to let my child grow up the same way that I grew up. They're going to have way more than me. And then you initially, in turn, start living through your kids because they're enjoying life, what you felt like you should have had when you were younger and growing up. Or your opportunity got cut short, which is what happened in Danny's situation. Let me tell you something. The moral of the story is men ain't shit, okay? Men will drag you down. That's what I'm getting. No offense to my men that's watching, but I'm just getting that notion. That's the moral of the story, especially when it comes to Danny. These men ain't shit. Danny was only modeling for 2 years. Danny came, baby. Danny was only modeling for 2 years. And when I found that out, I said, you know what, Bill? You ain't shit. Now, I just need to know how old Bill is, okay? Because it would make sense. It would really make sense how he was able to get this young girl. Because I don't know if I think Danny started modeling when she was 17, right? And then if she was only modeling for 2 years, that means she ended when she was 19. Either it was 17 or 19 that she started. Either way, she was still really, really, really young. And so for Bill to come in and to be able to easily manipulate her and to get her to stop something that was her dream job after only doing it for 2 years, for 2 years. And if you ask me, you doing it for 2 years, you haven't even peaked yet. It ain't no telling what she could have been. Like she said, she could have been up there with Naomi. She could have been up in the throws and in the books with Naomi and Tyra Banks and the other girls, Imans and the Beverly Johnsons and all of that stuff. She could have been up in that, in that whole reign. But, Bill came through. She fell in love because she was naive and, she was young, very impressionable, very able to be manipulated. Dare I say she was groomed? I don't know. But at the same time, I guess you can look at it that way a little bit if you want to. But he took advantage and then he basically made her stop working. And she came all about him. All about him and watched him fulfill his dreams and all of that. And she never got to do that with herself to the way that she wanted to, and that's really messed up. And now you have your daughter who is out here accomplishing so many things that she never got a chance to do. So yes, she is living through her daughter. And so, you have to understand, Danny, the girl, when she said that she was scared to tell your ass this, you have to understand that your daughter was looking out for you. And given how much you put your life into your daughter and you're living through her and everybody already knew it, yes, she was scared to say something because one, you were going through so much already and she didn't want to pile that up. But at the same time, Chelsea, you got to understand this is your life. You can't live it for nobody else. We get one life, baby, and you got to go ahead and live it to the fullest, okay? You got to do what you want to do, make the moves that you want to make, and not because somebody else saying it. And truth be told, Danny, you could get out there and still do what you got to do. Okay, it ain't gonna probably be, you could do a little couple of prints here and there. You could probably ask to get on a couple of runways. These days, the girls still out here doing it at older ages. You know what I'm saying? So you could have did that, but you were so hemped on trying to get back with Bill. Baby, at this point, when it comes to Danny and Chelsea, she made it seem like she was really proud of her, that she's out here, doing her own thing. And she was just disappointed in herself that her daughter was scared to come and tell her. But at the same time, she made it seem like she was okay with what Chelsea was doing. But of course, we already know that she's not. All right. She went back home, and when Chelsea saw Nicole and she told Nicole what was up, Nicole knew to come over there to the crib and to see how this girl was doing. Mama is over there drowning her sorrows in a bottle of vodka. You know what? You was already at the country club and you was debating on whether or not to get some alcohol. Okay, the dude came over there. He said, "You want your little Bellini?" She said, "You know what? Absolutely not. But then again, just give me some orange juice. You know what? Come back, put a little splash of vodka in there." I said, "Girl, you almost had it. You almost had it." And then your daddy drank your drink and realized that you had a little alcohol in it too. And I'm like, well, shit, do everybody know she got a problem? Are they really trying to make it seem like she really do got a problem? And then, at this point, you go home and you're drowning your sorrows in a bottle. And you're letting stuff replay in your head and everything. And Nicole, girl, at this point, I know you a psychiatrist and I know you the big sis, but you really just gotta let that lady, your sister, you really just got to let her do what she got to do, okay? Because sometimes you can tell a person so much and you can try to be there to help them, but they got to fall flat on their face to be able to get up. And sometimes they just fall flat and they stay there. And at this point in time, Danny going to fall flat on her face and she going to stay there for a while, okay? Because, listen, Danny is that type. I don't ever want to be this in love with somebody that I can't let them go. I will let them do whatever they want to me. Danny is in that boat, okay? And she in that boat bad. Girl, she told Nicole, I'll take that man back in a second. Like, when I think about him, when I be in his place, I don't even think about the fact that he done played me, he done cheated on me, he did all this. I said, girl, what? Are you serious? The way that he embarrassed you, the way that he hurt you, and not only did he just hurt you, he hurt your daughters. Okay, for the sake of your daughters, what example are you showing and you giving for them? Okay, to say that you would take this man back in a heartbeat and you will forget about every hurt that he gave you and did to you. Now, honestly, I do believe that she would, because she already knew Bill was cheating on her. Okay, she just didn't think that he was going to actually leave her and get with somebody that was actually a friend of the family so close. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's messing her up. It ain't even really the cheating part. It's the fact that he had the audacity to actually leave and get married to one of the bitches that he was cheating on. Okay? That's just what it was. For real, for real. And I'm just like, girl, whew. And at that point in time, I probably had to take a step back from Danny. Okay, I would have to take a step back from Danny because, girl, I don't want no parts of these shenanigans. Because I'm the type. Listen, I would have to judge you and be like, bitch, wake the fuck up. I'm like, I can't be friends with somebody that's dumb like this. You know, so hard up on some light. Pinkish, dickish. You know, I just don't. And mind you, she don't know no better. She don't know any better. Nicole trying to tell her, go out here and find somebody that will actually want you the way that you want them and deserve to be loved, okay? And love you for only you. Girl, she ain't trying to hear that. And I said, Danny, I feel so bad for you. I mean, at one point, honestly, I understand it because it's all that she ever known. This all that she ever known. That's her, probably that was her one and only man. Like I said, he got her young, okay? And so therefore, oh shit, she don't know what else to do, you know, but to hang on to him. And I was just like, girl, Danny, this is not good. This is not good. Meanwhile, we get the whole situation with Bill and Naomi. Let me tell you something. Naomi went on ahead and she took that case, okay? Now I can understand, and I like the way that she reasoned this out and said, you know what, if I take the case, people probably gonna be looking at it like, oh, I'm taking it to get back at my daddy because of all of the mess that he did with my mama and all this stuff, like it's a vengeance type of situation or whatever. But at the same time, I know how Bill work. I can get up into his psyche. I can get into there. Can't nobody else do it. They scared to take on the case. But, you know, she weighed the pros and cons, and she was talking to her husband. And, you know, she said, let me go over here and talk to my grandmama. She went and talked to Miss Anita. Miss Anita, you know, I need you to go ahead and get back on the stage. Okay? Get back on stage, girl, because you are living your glory days. You are reliving it. You are yearning to get back. It's time for a reunion. Okay, you can do a one night only. Dina Jones up in this bitch. Do a one night only and be like, hey y'all, this is my turn back. I just wanted to get up here and get this little special thing or whatever with my little palette again. You know, do what you gotta do. Cause you was, you know, she was rapping. That little freestyle was cute or whatever. She said, you know, gotta get up here like the Cardi Z's and the Meg the Mustang. Bitch, that shit. I said, you know what? Old people are so funny to me when they be trying to be hip. She said, wasn't I on Flick? I said, girl, what is that, baby? We don't even say Flick no more. What's going on? Okay. But that was cute. That was cute. Girl, get your ass back on the stage. Okay. You want it. You want it. Be up here like, I would say Anita Baker, but see, the last time Anita Baker got on stage, she left y'all in a lurch. Anita Baker literally left them people on Mother's Day last year and did not even come out and explain what had happened was. She left the social medias for a while, popped back up like ain't nothing happened, and ain't give nobody near explanation. I'm just gonna assume Mama was sick, okay? Some shit happened and Mama was sick and she had to cancel the rest of the tour. That's what I'm gonna assume, because you did that on Mother's Day and you left, okay? You know, hey, it is what it is. But, you know, she went up there, she talked to her grandma, and grandma was like, you know, I get it. You feel like it's going to bring some spotlight back onto the Dupree family or whatever and take the, you know, attention off of the actual victims. Okay. But at the same time, you got to do what you got to do. Stand up for what's right, bitch. That's in your goddamn blood. And she was like, you know what, grandmama? You right. She went over there. And the peoples, the three women that had called her, whatever, she was about to tell them, you know, I'm gonna accept the case. They was telling her, listen, girl, that's fine. before she could even say, yeah, I'm accept this, they was like, listen, girl, we didn't realize that what the position we was putting you in, with all the stuff that was going on with your family and all that shit. So we gonna take it to somebody else. I'm sure we gonna find somebody else that'll take it on. She was like, girl, you ain't gotta do that. Don't hold your horse, okay? Like, I weighed everything and I take the shit on, okay? It is what it is. Mind you, they building up the case with the audience, okay? Because over there in Bill's office, he was having a meeting with Tomas and Mike, the one that's actually putting him in this situation. And Mike is just too fucking much. Bill, I don't give a damn if that. See, Bill, this is why you getting sued too. And for anybody else that's going into business or whatever, and you got partnerships, so this is why you have to speak up. You can't be scared to, lose your job. You can't be scared of repercussions, because stuff like this is what make the workplace unbearable and uncomfortable. This is where you have that boys club mentality, and you got to get the shit out of here, okay? Because that's not gonna fly these days, all right? People are getting sued left and right for the minimum things, all right? And then you got this fool sitting here literally talking about making lewd jokes. Like, how are you so sexually deviant? I ain't even gonna say deviant. He just all about sex. Like, damn, turn that shit off. Why do you have to talk about sex all the fucking time? Like, listen, I love me some sex, okay? To be quite honest, I'm pretty sure a lot of us does, okay? It feels great, phenomenal, you know what I'm saying? Touch. We like to look at sexual content. It is what it is. We do like a good sexual joke, a good sexual innuendo, but in the appropriate time. You are at work, okay? He done got himself a little bit way too goddamn comfortable, okay? Way too fucking comfortable, even to the point where Bill don't even like it. Bill don't even like it to this point. And you can tell he been doing this, and Bill used to do it too. But see, now that Bill got married or whatever, I don't know, or probably got daughters now, he don't do it as much. And he even getting annoyed with the fact that he keep on bringing up these goddamn stupid ass jokes and talking about the women and all this stuff. And then you going as far as to try to say something about his wife. Fuck the fact that we don't even like them, okay? But it's the fact that you have the audacity to even bring up his wife in any manner other than respecting the fact that that's your homeboy's wife. I said, how bold? How bold? He'll do that to another white man, or he just doing that to Bill? That blick man. I don't know, girl. It's giving. It's giving. But at the same time, oh, yeah. 6 o'clock. I was like, you know what? He got to get the hell on. He got to get the hell on, because, he really irking me so much. He irking me so much because it's too much. It's too goddamn much, okay? And even Bill said, you going to get us in trouble with some shit like that. I don't want this up in the news, headlines. And as soon as he said that, here come Naomi bringing it in there like, yeah, daddy, I'm finna sue your ass, okay? And he up here thinking, he'll get his relationship back with his daughters and all of that stuff, and especially Naomi. I think he was talking to Tomas about the shit, and then he was talking to Haley about it. But at the same time, here's the thing. I was thinking Haley was delusional. Bill and Haley are the same level of fucking delusion, okay? Because at this point, why would you think that your daughter would be back on your side for any reason after the way that you hurt her mother? It's not even, okay. I can see if Chelsea was to be a little bit, she'll probably give in first before Naomi, okay? Because, yeah, you just hurt the mom, you know what I'm saying? And then she probably thinking like, shit don't work out or whatever. People cheat, they do that or whatever. But see, when it comes to Naomi is different. Because Naomi, y'all wouldn't know this woman if it wasn't for Naomi. Naomi and Haley were friends. So therefore, she probably feels some type of guilt or whatever for bringing this bitch around, getting her hired at your goddamn job, and then only for you to turn around, become real close to this girl to the point that we looking at her like she family, only to find out family fucking the family, bitch, that she brought up into the picture. And I'm like, Bill, you truly don't understand this. And then gonna tell Haley and all this stuff, oh, this just her way of trying to get back and trying to get close to me or whatever. And this an invitation for her to try to mend the fences or whatever. I'm sitting here like, how did you get that out of this? Because they did go back and forth. They did go back and forth. He was being very much a lawyer, trying to intimidate her, but she was reading him down too. At one point, he called her sweetheart. She said, listen, you don't want to call me no sweetheart when we in court, because you know what? They can also take that shit as being sexual harassment as well. Or no, sexist. I said, you know what, Naomi, clock it. Clock it, baby. Okay? And I'm sitting here like, yeah, she's gonna use everything that you taught her and that she's seen how you work against you. And this is gonna be something. I don't know who gonna win. He's so cocky and confident that, oh, this will never see the court of day and, you know, all of this stuff, whatever, inside the courtroom and all this. But at the same time, you know that your employee is out here doing all this shit. And if Tomas looked like he'll probably flip in a minute, okay? I know he was sitting down there with Kat and he was telling her, you know, this is what I, you know, study so hard to get into this particular law firm. Because if you get into this law firm, you can write your ticket to any other law firm there is. This is the one that you need to be into, the Bill Hamilton law firm. I said, okay, but you like Kat, you also like Eva. Like, I just feel like he's not going to be as loyal to Bill as we think, okay? And if he is, you're... because he wasn't liking what Mike was saying and doing either. Okay, he was so annoyed by it as well. But at the same time, I'm just sitting here like, girl, you know what, Bill, you are delusional as fuck if you really think that this girl is using this case to get back at you, which she could be, and I wouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, it is a matter of sexual harassment, and you know that the shit happened. Okay, being wrongfully terminated. And then here's the delusion on Haley part. Haley, you take your ass over there to go talk and confront Naomi about this. Oh, you doing all this stuff and you doing this just to get back at me and your father and all this or whatever. Woo, woo, woo. And you can't do this and blah, blah, blah. Why the fuck would you go over there and try to threaten this girl when your husband is trying to work on a relationship to get back with his daughter, on a good track with his daughter? Like, why would you do that? So now she's even more determined to say, fuck that nigga and fuck you too. Because at the end of the day, Haley, just because it didn't happen to you, just because Mike didn't say nothing to you, because he was trying to be, I guess, a little bit respectful because you were the boss's side piece, you know, doesn't mean that it didn't happen to anybody else. And I'm glad they did put that excuse up in there, because that is one thing that people always say when it comes out about somebody being sued for sexual harassment. Well, it ain't happened to me, so I don't understand why it's happening and what they suing for. Okay, well, just because it didn't happen to you don't mean that it didn't happen to anybody else. That's your experience. Your experience is not the end all be all experience of all experiences, okay? Everybody have different experiences, right? And so, yeah, we get it. It's going to look like you trying to have a vendetta, you trying to get back at your daddy, but also is looking with the evidence that Mike is a fucking perv, okay? He's a goddamn, asshole. That's just what it is, okay? And for you, I cannot stand a woman that's not a girl's girl when it comes to situations like this. She is such a goddamn pick-me. She is a pick-me like a motherfucker, and I cannot stand that bitch. I can't stand it. And she showed her colors. She showed her true colors. And even when Naomi said, bitch, one of the girls didn't get the promotion in the job that they were supposed to get because you got it, because you was fucking the boss. And I was just like, yeah, baby girl, and then you try to threaten her and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's not gonna work, okay? Then when you come back to the job, you see your husband hugging up on some old employee, you're getting jealous, and then he trying to flip it to make it seem like he trying to make it comfortable enough for her to say things to him so that he can get the information back to the husband because he about to sue for custody, and only because she wound up saying, I don't want my kids to hate me like your daughters hate you. Bitch, now let me tell you something, Miss Girlie. You probably wouldn't or shouldn't have said what you said, but at the same time, that's kind of true. Okay, and it's fucked up, Bill, what you about to do. Haley, you have every right. Well, I don't give a shit. Yeah, now you seeing what Naomi is saying. Girl, that man probably gonna fuck around on you just like he fucked around on Danny. You ain't exempt. Okay? Like, come on. That reminds me so much of, and I hate to even bring this up. I was scrolling on Twitter, and this girl who was, and I even, because I hate this person. I don't like what they stand for or anything. And anybody that follows them, it says a whole lot about you, knowing that this person has a record of R word, assault, and all of that on their record. And they're very misogynistic, and we already know that Andrew Tate guy. His ex-girlfriend was putting up on Twitter about how basically she was getting her ass whooped out, okay? Mind you, you was dating him last year. So you knew about all of the allegations. You knew about all of the things that's against him. You knew how he was. And you still decided to take that chance. What? Because you thought, oh, I wouldn't be the one that go through that. I would be the one that change. Like, girl, we don't want to try to be victim blaming. But in this situation, it's one of those situations where why did you take that chance and think that, not necessarily think that nothing was going to happen, but be surprised that it happened. That's how it is with Haley, girl. Don't be surprised when he fuck around on you. And at that 10, I wouldn't be surprised if he is fucking that lady. Okay. That hug was a little bit too close. It was a little bit too familiar. The talk was just a little bit too But that's what was going on with them. Then you got this whole situation with, oh yeah, Haley had the nerve to come up there to Jacob and try to talk to Jacob and try to, oh, we haven't talked in a while, and, can you tell Naomi? Absolutely the fuck not. I'm on my wife's side. What do you expect, bitch? What are you talking about, girl? Okay, and it's like, do y'all not understand? You want somebody to get over the fact that you betrayed them in one of the worst ways, okay? And I'm just like, what world are y'all living in? If it would have happened to you, you wouldn't be here talking about some, I want to forgive them. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Meanwhile, speaking of Jacob, your daddy even told us that you the type of nigga that is, you want to do everything by the book. You so right. You so this, whatever. You, girl, sir. He in his feelings about this whole Marcel situation. He want to get reassigned. He want another partner. Daddy said, don't even worry about that. Okay? Let it alone. He been here for a long time. He going to do his own thing. And so at this point, Daddy went over there and he was talking to Marcel and telling him, ease the fuck up on my son. Because, he ain't like everybody else. And I feel like the daddy know that this man be doing some shit under the table. Because that little conversation, it was more so not just leave my son, don't be so hard on my son playing games with him or whatever. It felt more so like, calm it down, because he is the type of motherfucker that's gonna dig, okay? And whatever you got going on that probably had me going on with it too, it's gonna come out, because he ain't gonna stop. And we seen how Jacob is, okay? And so at this point, Marcel come over there, changing his tune up a little bit, trying to be all nice to Jacob. Jacob wasn't batting it. Mind you, Marcel is working with what's his name? Joey. Okay, Mr. Gambling Man, Joey, he said, why you out here, taking cash up in broad daylight? You got rookies and shit looking at you. He said, well, nigga, that's why I got you on payroll, okay? You supposed to take care of it. That's why I'm doing it. I said, you know what? He got you by the balls, Marcel. You too old to be having somebody else doing all this shit to your ass, okay? Answering to this man, And so you got that going on. Meanwhile, when it comes to Joey, baby, what the fuck do he really want with Doug? And I just really want to understand, why is he so honed in on Doug? Okay, because all he can do is put him in debt. He's a cardiac surgeon. What do you got heart problems? What can you use from him to your advantage to keep him in the hole the way you're trying to? And now he's all in his wife's business, making it seem like he needs to get a home for his mama and everything. So the wife knows about Joey, and it's just really crazy the way that he trying to keep this man in debt, and the way that he's a predator. Because he already know that this man has a freaking problem. He's a gambling addict. To the point where he is on Instagram looking at poker shit. He is on Instagram liking poker pictures and chips and all that shit. I said, damn, bitch, that's bad. That's like being on Instagram looking at a vial of crack and liking it. Crackhead, what is going on? You probably got a picture of it behind you in your when you go to bed at night. Like, what the hell? Like, I was just like, damn, go ahead and get you some help. And Randy, you ain't no goddamn good friend. Okay, now I know in the beginning you did try to stop him, but you still suggested Joey, okay, and you still linked them up. I would have said, fuck no, okay, he gonna fucking play you. This ain't the person to do this, and you did try a little bit, but you ain't tried hard enough, and you still connected them two. Like you knew how this man was. You ain't no goddamn good friend at all. And then Vanessa, let me tell you something, girl. This is the stuff that you have to deal with when you cheat. You can't tell when a motherfucker gonna become psychotic or not. Diego is about to be a problem, okay? How are you getting your feelings that she ain't just fucking you and her husband? 9 out of 10, Diego about to be the one that say, I know you got a husband, but you can't fuck him. You can only fuck me. Bitch, what if the temptation is going on? What? No. What was the movie? When she had a sex problem and it was Boris Kojo was her husband. She was fucking around with him, Tyson Bedford, and that white man. Girl, the French guy. Is it called Temptation? No. Tyler Perry presents. Let me see. Y'all already know I'm gonna have to look it up, but I just saw it. Boris Kojo movies. Let me see what this say. Okay, what's going on? It was running down here, so the internet is acting a little funny. What the freak? Girl. Addicted. There it is. Like, what the hell? And I said, Diego just popped up out of nowhere. So you fucking this old man too? Because she was up there talking to Joey. She said, bitch, I can fuck whoever the fuck it is I want to fuck. I said, now, girlfriend, it's going to be exciting for a minute, but then it's about to get a little scary with Diego. Okay? It's about to get a little scary with him because the way he popped up out of nowhere, I said, But Vanessa, go ahead and play games, girl. I don't know what the fuck you got between them thighs, but you know it got him hooked. Okay, I said, all right, Vanessa, you do your thing, because your husband ain't giving you no goddamn attention. And you know what, usually I don't really say cheat, but I ain't even mad at you, because at this point in time, he up here lying about, he lying about going to work. Whatever. Nicole said, bitch, I don't be seeing your ass up at the hospital. That's because he be out there fucking gambling, okay? He up here lying. He finna put y'all in a goddamn po house. You might as well get your fun in because he taking it, all right? You know, he getting his fun one way, baby, you get your fun the other way too. Meanwhile, speaking of stuff, Nicole, I feel bad for Nicole because Nicole truly is an innocent person on this bitch, okay? But baby, Leslie, Sherry, Dana, and now Anna. Oh, I'm getting tired of you, girl, because you piss me off. Because at this point, we keep on adding stuff to the pie. Okay, we keep adding stuff to the pie. You up there talking to Eva about this whole situation. Okay, cool. Oh, you didn't get the life that you deserved and all this stuff. Bitch, come to find out, you upset at Ted because Ted, listen. She is upset at Ted because Ted left her ass, right? Ted gave her money to go the fuck away, right? And then you putting it up in your mind as if Ted already knew that she had a daughter or that she was pregnant and that she actually had the baby and literally just decided to leave little Eva and all that stuff and not be a daddy or whatever. Come the fuck to find out, Ted don't even know that he got a kid out here by her. Ted thought that the bitch got an abortion. And I said, Ted, that's the fucking worst mistake that you ever did. Because you got somebody that's crazy like that. This crazy didn't just come on, okay? It didn't just come on. It's been there. It had to been there, and you saw a glimpse of it. And that's why you broke up with the bitch, okay? And the fact that you had to pay her off because you said, what you want? You want more money? She said, what, $50,000? He said, $50,000, bitch. I said, Ted, you can't really argue at this point, so just give it to her. She was like, Venmo, Cash App. He said, bitch, no, I'll get that shit to your ass in cash because we ain't finna have no paper trail and you ain't finna get my number. What the fuck is this? I said, I know that's fucking right, Ted. But at the same time, She told him that she got the abortion. Now, Ted, you should have went to the clinic and made sure she had that shit yourself. Okay? So bitch, this on you as well. Because you should have went to the clinic with her ass. All right? Because now she upset and got Eva up here. I really feel like it. Did she? I don't think that she told Eva the whole story. I don't think she told her the whole story. Okay? And it's just really ridiculous at this point. It's really ridiculous at this point. And the way that she popped up on Kat playing as Anna, and she was trying to get all that information. And let me tell you something, Kat, you stupid as shit too. Because, and I hate to say it like this, only because you got a stranger coming up to you talking about a bitch that you don't even like. And no shade to Eva, because I actually like Eva. But I'm just saying, this how Kat probably be talking in her head. I don't even like that bitch. Okay? And who the fuck are you trying to vouch for her? Why are you asking me all these questions? Okay, yeah, that's what you're supposed to be thinking. And as soon as she started saying, well, Kat, it's destiny that we meet because, you know, I've been looking after Ava and she was telling me some stuff that was going on and all this stuff. Why you don't like her? Why you, bitch, first of fucking all, why do you care? Okay, granted, I get it that that's your girl or whatever, but why do you care if I like her or not? She ain't working with me. She working for my mama. Okay, so therefore, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Whether I like her or not, is she doing the work? That's all that she should be concerned with. Okay? Second of all, why are you asking me all these questions? And third of all, Kat, why are you sitting there answering them? You should have shut that shit down like, bitch, this ain't got shit to do with me. I don't know who the fuck you are. Deuces. You sat there and gave that lady too much. That crazy ass psycho too fucking much, bitch. Okay? I was just sitting here like, Kat, shut the fuck up. You be talking all that shit to Eva, and you go sit here and you go let this lady tell you and give you a 21 question ass exam about somebody that you don't even give a damn about. Like, girl, what? And then she put that camera up in the office, and then Eva found it. Eva found it, bitch. I said, you know what? Now Eva really finna fuck Tomas. Cause that's some shit I do. Baby, it's finna be a love triangle. Well, it's finna be a fuck triangle between them. I ain't gonna call it love, cause you know one ain't giving it up, but Eva give it up just because, okay? But Eva, I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. Don't let that man spoil you like that. But anyway, that was the week of Beyond the Gates. I'm still in it. I'm still loving it. I'm still enjoying it. You guys tell me how y'all feel about it. Bitch. Dana, Leslie, Sherry, Anna. Which other fucking personality go pop out? She got a wig for every fucking occasion, bitch. Every time she be popping up with these wigs, bitch, I be dying laughing. But anyway, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week. I hope y'all have a great one. I'll see y'all later. Peace.